Hello everyone. In this lesson I'm going to show you how to combine two queries to form one table in Power Query. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be using stock data from the NASDAQ and from the S&P 500. So the first thing I have to do is I've got to go to a new browser. And here is data from the S&P 500. I've got the historical data right here, as you can see. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy this URL. Copy. Go into Excel, and then I'm going to go to the Data tab from Web, and I'm going to paste in the URL right here. Click OK. I'm just going to do, well, first of all, I got to select the table. It's going to be Table 2. I'm going to click on Transform Data, and I'm just going to make a couple of changes to this. First of all, I'm only going to take the top 10 rows. So under the Home tab, under Keep Rows, I'm going to select Keep Top Rows, and then type 10. Click OK. And then what I have to do is I have to add a column that's going to differentiate this table from the next table, which is going to be from the NASDAQ. So I got to create a column that's just going to list the S&P 500 label in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on Add Column. I'm going to click Custom Column, and I'm going to call this custom column SP 500. And then here I'm just going to type in double quote SP 500. Click OK, and you can see I have a new column. Actually, I don't want to call that SP 500. I want to call that index. So I apologize. I'm going to call this index. So index, and the index is going to be S&P 500, and then I'm going to name this query SP 500. So I named a new column called index, and I input the values SP 500. That's going to help differentiate it from all of the dates from the next query. So I'm going to go back to the Home tab, click on the down arrow under Close and Load, and go Close and Load To, and I only want to save this as a connection. So create only create connection. Click OK. There's my connection, SP 500. Now let's create the next connection. So let me close this. I'm going to go back to my browser, and this time I'm going to go to the NASDAQ. I'm going to click Historical Data. Then I'm going to copy this URL, copy, go into Excel, and then I am going to go to Data from Web, paste the URL, click OK, and I'm going to go through the same steps as I did before. This is going to be Table 2, so click on Table 2, click Transform, and under Home I'm going to click Keep Rows button, Keep Top Rows, and the top 10 rows, click OK. Then I'm going to go to Add Column, Add Custom Column. I'm going to call this custom column Index. Oops, highlight the whole thing. Index, just like before. And then in this case, I'm going to do double quote NASDAQ. Okay, click OK. So I've got an index column that has only the NASDAQ, and I'm going to call this query NASDAQ. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go to the Home tab, Close and Load To, only create connection. So now I've got two connections. Didn't I name this? The name didn't quite take, so I'm going to go to Edit. The name of this query is not what I want. I don't know what happened. Click here, NASDAQ, and then I'm just going to close it here and just say keep changes, and now I see NASDAQ and S&P 500. That's what I want. So now to combine these two, I'm just going to go back to the query editor, and the way I could do that is if I just put my cursor over one of the queries here, I click Edit. And what I can do now is I can go to the Home tab, and under Combine, I'm going to click on Append Queries, little down arrow right here, and append queries as new. And I'm going to append two tables, right? First is S&P 500, the second one is going to be NASDAQ. I click OK, and then I just click Continue. Just ignore this and watch. So now I've got the two tables, and you can see here I could separate the two by this index column, S&P 500 and NASDAQ, and I've got all of the combined data. And now all I have to do is close and load here, and I'm going to get the table with the data. There we go. There's my combined table. I combine these two queries into one, and there you have it.